We have breaking news out of Croatia this evening as Jarun sell Luka Daška for a club record fee while signing two players. Now for more, we cross live to local reporter Chaz Hogan.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Look, Daška leaves for France for just under 6 mil, while Liverpool reject Nasir Akbasli. He joins along with goalkeeper number 7 of the window, Gajeska Ejasa. Hi guys, I'm Aussie and welcome back to Jarun on The Impossible Dream. It is season 6, episode 2. Today it's AIK of Stockholm, I was told. Thank you for, I've gone blank now who that was. Gordon, I think it was, in the comment. Anyway, not Gothenburg, but we've been busy in the transfer market since last episode, and the sad news in a way is that Luka Daška has left. It is a club record fee to Lorient, 5.75 million. He leaves us as the club's all-time appearance holder, 160, if you can see that down there. I imagine that will be broken at some point, but he has been a very, very, very good player for us. But I think here you see the scout report now he's left is a C. I think we've got a very good fee for him, to be honest. So he has left, but we have signed two other players on the back of Byzantin, of course, joining last episode. The first of those is Nasir Akbasli. He is it says he's a striker. Now, he's not necessarily going to play as a striker. A deep-lying forward would be, where he would play. Now, he's 19 and we've signed him from Liverpool for 350,000. Now, there's a lot to like about him. The potential is very, very high. He's only on 2,400 a week as a squad player, so that's perfect, really, in the role that I expect him to play. He can play further back in midfield. I don't know what I'm expecting from him, actually. He's sort of just going to be someone that will play him in a number of different positions. He could play, it says he could play centre back. He can't tackle or mark, so I don't think that's going to, it has bad positioning, so I don't think that's going to be happening. But certainly as a midfielder, a more attacking-minded midfielder, he's got vision and passing. The finishing is the problem for him being a striker, but We'll just kind of see what we get. As I said, he will develop and we'll kind of see in what direction he develops. We can try and push him, obviously, one way or another. I'm not 100% sure, as I said, what he's going to be, but there's a good player there, and I've signed him based on the fact there is a good player there. We just need to find his position. Now, the other player that we've signed is our new goalkeeper, hopefully, Gajeska Ejasa. We'll go with that. He's 27. We've signed him for 1.6 million from Clermont Foot in France. Now, there is quite a bit to like about him, and the handling is quite good. Their positioning's not too bad. Physically, he's okay, and good anticipation as well. Good bravery, which is important, and decision-making as well for goalkeepers. We'll see what we get. He was the best option that was available to us, so I'm glad that we got him in on that sense. If we go and have a look, he's only 11.5 grand a week, so he is one of our top-paid players. And we can see his career to date here. He spent some time at Arsenal without actually playing for them. He's been at Real Sociedad, which is where he came through, obviously. He played a little bit in La Liga for them. He was, £1 million was spent by a Bundesliga club on him, though he didn't actually really play that much. He went to Ligue 2 and played a fair amount last season and played well. 14 clean sheets in France's second tier is nothing to be sniffed at. So we've got him in, and we'll see what we get out of him. Hopefully, a lot of clean sheets, but we'll see. But he's definitely going to be our number one for this season anyway. So with those signings done, we are currently over the wage budget, so we might need to just actually shift some of that around. We're on spending 129 grand a week on wages. That is, for a club with only a 5,000 seat capacity, maybe a little bit worrying. But there's still 15 million in the bank. Obviously, the Daška fee is a big chunk of that. We've still got just over 4.5 million to spend. And obviously, we can move more money over into wages if we want to. But we're not looking too bad on that front. Now, the dynamics, we'll come back to those actually in a second, because we've got some games to catch you up on. 2 in the league, 1 in Europe, obviously the second leg where we were already smacked the Latvians, so we just had to go and smack them again the second leg. But let's catch you up on the first game, which was in the league against Variston. Byzantin gave us the lead 5 minutes into his debut. And Palumbo made it 2-0 after 15 minutes. But Variston pulled one back midway through the second half. and then drew level late on. So we should have won this game comfortably. Not sure what happened with the defending on that last goal of theirs, but it was horrid. Palumbo missed a penalty. Now I think had that gone in at 3-0, we would have run away with the game, but it didn't. And despite the fact that quite a few players played well, just couldn't get it done, and conceding late goals is always disappointing. And it was a fairly strong side at the back we had out as well, so doubly concerning on that front. Next up, it was the second leg against the Latvians. We took an early lead when Pranjic pounced on a defensive error. Bracalo crossed for Fillet to make it 2-0. And Pranjic got a second gift for our third, before capping his hat-trick with a stunner. Ormarkic got his first goal for the club just after half-time. And Williams got his first for our sixth. So we are just far, far too good for them, really. You could tell by some of the names that were on the pitch there, particularly at the end. I mean, it wasn't even our strongest side. Ormarkic absolutely running the show. Brilliant first goal for him as well. Pranjic with a hat-trick. And yeah, there was more kids coming off the bench once the game was pretty much done once we scored first, and it was done before kickoff, really, wasn't it? So yeah, we had lots and lots of names that we won't recognise coming off the bench. A lot of them won't make it with us, but it was good to give them some European game time, that's for sure. So that was that. Final game to catch you up on was against Istra, and this one had a couple of the new names making their debuts. We took an early lead thanks to Ormarkic, but Istra drew level before half-time. But an own goal put us back ahead late on. So we had to work very, very hard for this one, but again, you can see on the XG tracker, they only really had 2 chances. So, we deserved to win it, though we did make hard work of it. The new front duo, sort of I'd say, well, they're not really second choice. Visentin will be first choice at some point, but they just didn't quite have a good day. Ormarkic with another stunner, 2-2 for him. And yeah, we've got young Bacanic playing his first game at the back as well. He is one of our youth intake players, very, very highly rated. And we're going to have to give him game time, I think, this season. And, he didn't do badly. And if we benefit, long-term from it, then all the better for that. So let's have a look at the league table. And it's okay. Win, a draw, and a loss from your first 3 games. I always think that's sort of the minimum that you want from your first 3 games. But Dinamo Zagreb absolutely flying again. And that 5-point gap already looks a little ominous, doesn't it? So, yeah, we'll see how we get on there. But we're all about Europe today and getting through to the next round against the Swedes. And this is what we're doing. We're expecting apparently a 3-4-3 from them. Although, as I've said before, we don't really know. The scouts have no idea what to expect in Europe. Now, let's have a look here. We've got some heavy match loads, which is never ideal. So Rovers can come in for Bracalo, which is fine. I would have rathered that anyway. Williams can play, and Matanovic is back fit. As is Bosniak, but he's not really fit to go to start this one. So that is all looking good to me. So it is Ayasa in goal. It is Demjanic, Santiago, and Williams as the back 3. Pembele and Rovers will go down the sides. Sithole, Palumbo, and Skoko in midfield. Fillet and Matanovic up front. Visentin is now listed or registered in the squad. Actually, we might start him and look to use Matanovic maybe in the league game, since he is coming back to fitness. So we might give Visentin the start. Yeah, all right, let's go. All right, so we can see the team sheets here, and can we spot the ex-Jarun player, Luka Rakic? We sold him to AIK for, I think it was 220 grand or something a season or 2 ago. So yeah, hopefully he won't come back and haunt us. He wouldn't get anywhere near this side now, so don't regret selling him at all. But let's take a bit of pressure off. It's the away leg. So obviously away goals aren't a thing anymore. If we can take a lead back, that'd be superb. And yeah, let's see what we can do. As ever, I think the plan, and again, they've not come out anyway, me what the scouts were saying. I think the plan is if we have a substantial lead, maybe we won't show the second leg, but I think Besiktas last year, if it's taught us anything, it's that the second leg is not a foregone conclusion for this team. Yeah, now one thing in the league this season is, I mean, we still obviously have money to spend and we'll still look to strengthen. we have so many good young players that what I don't want to do is sign, and we could get guys in on loan that would be better for us this season. We'll pay a chunk of their wages. We'll pay $500,000 to $1 million in loan fees, and it's basically going to mean that the likes of, say, Ormarkic, that young defender that I showed you that played against Istra, they basically won't get any game time for us. Now we could look to perhaps loan them out, but yeah, I mean, that is an option. It's just a little bit, we might be in a situation where perhaps we take a short-term hurt for a long-term gain, in that, these guys get their experience, they'll develop with us, and we get better players down the line for it, which it will mean either obviously we have better players or we can sell them for a higher transfer fee. St. Iago is a bit of a beast at the back. Nice flick on from Visinton. It's played Philip in here. Can Philip do something? He's gone to Palumbo to Stithole, and just couldn't quite bend it in. But what a counter-attack that was. Now, they've got wingers. We are forcing them inside, I think, aren't we? Yes. So that's fine. We were expecting them to be a wing attacking side, so we're sort of set up according for that. I always think if a team attacks down the wings, you want to play a high line to try and stop them getting crosses in, rather than sitting deep and sort of inviting the crosses. But that always makes me nervous, that pass across goal like that, but it was fine. Visinton again with a flick on for Philip. Oh, Elias Philip gets his third of the season, but Visinton, he's set him up brilliantly twice now, hasn't he? Nice little flick on. It's very Route 1. Sit hole up to Visinton. Flick on to Philip. And Tony Pule somewhere has an erection. That Sam Allardyce as well. He's definitely Big Sam right now. That was straight out of their playbook, wasn't it? All right. Can we go and get a second now? Palumbo over a free kick. Come on. Nice ball short for Visinton. Is he going to unload one? He is. And that is just past the post. All right. Now we've got to keep an eye on Williams. He had the heavy match load coming into this game, didn't he? He hasn't played that much. It's a good ball to the back post, but Rovis can't keep it down. Yeah, I think I was going to show you the dynamics too, wasn't I? The dynamics aren't terrible. But obviously we've got quite a few new signings in, so it will take a little bit of time for them to gel. But generally speaking, everything is above actually where I'd expect it to be, especially with a bit of a shaky start in the league. But we'll only get better. For example, the guy we signed from Liverpool, what was his name? Bashir Akbasi or something. He has no match sharpness at all, which is probably down why he didn't play particularly well against good ball in. Philip can only sort of interrupt, and Visinton over the top. So yeah, he's going to get better. A lot of these guys are going to get better. I think Reece Williams, another reason why he has a heavy match load, is just playing in friendlies and trying to get him up to speed. So once we do that, then we're going to be better. I know you guys have said in the comments about doing sort of team bonding and community outreach and those sorts of things in training. The issue that we have with playing guaranteed 3 games a week, with every week being a midweek game, is that we just don't have that much time in training. So something has to miss out. Philip, look at the space Pembele has. Can Pembele get a ball in it? Skoko, and Noah Skoko buries his chance. And that is 2-0 inside the first half. Excellent stuff. And that was a nicely worked goal as well, wasn't it? Skoko's had some bids coming in. Watford seem to be interested in signing him, but I'm not going to sell him unless we have to. Florentina have come in with a bid for him as well, but he hasn't kicked off. He seems to be happy to be here for now, and it's going to take a fairly sizable bid for us to part with him, I'd say. The other thing that's happened too, actually, is our training facilities have been upgraded, the senior training facilities, so we now have good senior facilities for the seniors and great for the youth players. So off the field, everything is still moving forward, even though we've had a couple of setbacks in Europe and in the league last season. We're still able to push everything forward. And again, the Dashka sale, I'd be curious to see what you guys think of it. As I've said before I did it, I just don't think, he's 27, he's obviously not going to get any better. He is increasingly becoming a squad player for us. Still a good player in the league, and it's Damjanic, or is it? I didn't see much wrong with it. It's one of those, please don't be offside from a free kick. He's not. And it is 3-0. And Damjanic with a nice header in there. I think Damjanic and Williams could be quite brutal. And I wonder too if the fact we have both of them means that one of them's going to be more open. Oh, and that's just over. Because when we just had Damjanic as that real big, set piece threat, other teams could have just stuck 2 guys on him and kind of dealt with him that way. And he still scored, 5 or 6 goals last season anyway. But if we've got Reece Williams there as well, then either you're going to have, say 4 guys marking these 2 and then everybody else. It's just going to, I think, open things up for us. Or at least I certainly hope so. But yeah, training facilities have been upgraded. I'd be curious to see what you guys think of Damjanic. I just think increasingly he wasn't first choice. Another ball in, another one headed away. And I don't think we're going to get... Oh, and Palumbo now makes it 4. Or is that 5? It says 4 up here. I thought we... No, it is 4. Okay. I just think that that's a really good fee for a player that isn't going to get any better and possibly is going to start... Oh, it's taking a little deflection, which has probably hurt the goalkeeper there. But in truth, he should have done better with that. Yeah, so I just think it's a really good fee for a player that we can easily... arguably have already replaced with Sithole coming in. And the only thing... Oh, it's another one. It's Roberts. Now, he might be offside. He might be offside. He was okay for the initial ball in, but I think the second one, yeah, he had gone a little early. But yeah, the one thing that the Dashka sale has done is potentially leave us a little bit short at centre-back, which is why Bakansik, or whatever his name was, played in the league. Once things settle down a little bit, it might be a case of we can sort of rotate. So, say Reece Williams plays one weekend, Santiago the next, and so rotate with Messick and Triantis. Where we're going to have a problem is if someone gets injured there, then we could end up with tied players. But Sithole could arguably play centre back at a stretch. Brigic is back; he could arguably play it there at a stretch. So we will have options. We don't really have any youngsters. There's guys that are sort of potentially 3-star that maybe, again, at a stretch, I guess we could stick in there for a game or 2, or we could just change the formation. We do have a couple of decent prospects in terms of wingers, so maybe if we do find ourselves with a bit of a shortage at centre-back, it's a good excuse to go to sort of just the 2 centre-backs. It's Pembele! Oh, that's a really, really good goal from Timothy Pembele, cutting in and just burying it with what might have been even his left foot if he's cut in like that. Let's have another look at that one. Skoko's done brilliantly. Pembele's had so much space all game, cuts in, and yeah, with his left foot, again, goalkeeper maybe should have done a little bit better there. But I think at 5-0 away from home, we possibly don't need to show the second leg. I don't think we're going to have a Besiktas-style comeback on this one somehow. But we'll obviously see. As that is a good interception, is it? It's still there for them, but yeah, this is absolutely brilliant. I was a little bit concerned about this one. You never really know what to expect, and we know that we've struggled a little bit in Europe, but I think what we're seeing here is against Conference League sides, we're quite good, aren't we? So 5-star Jarun triumph, Pembele, the class of the field again. Now what I don't think, as I said, we need to do is show the second leg. So what I'll do, we've got a league game against Slaven. That's not really one to see. So we'll come back for the first leg of the next round, I think. So I will see you momentarily for that. All right, welcome back. We are getting ready for the first leg of our next tie against Domzale. I think it's pronounced, that's how I certainly pronounce it, as a Slovenian team. You'd like to think we'll do okay against them. But of course, before we get to that, we need to catch you up 3 games. The first of which in the league was against Slaven Belupo. Hakavenga gave us the lead. And Loveridge found Ekbasli to make it 2-0 in the second half. Before the ball fell for Loveridge to make it 3-0 in stoppage time. So we were always in control of this one. Nasir Akbasli played really, really well, which is good to see. A goal and an assist for him. Lovric, likewise, came off the bench for Bursch Kulji, or whatever this guy's name is. Again, a goal and an assist. He and Akbasli just kind of traded places on that one, so that was good. You can see the match ratings for the most part were brilliant, and it was a very good performance for us. Next up was the second leg against AIK. Now we rotated heavily at home where there was a 5 or 6 goal lead, so let's see how the second leg played out. We fell behind on the night inside a minute, but Bracalo crossed for Skoko to cancel it out before AIK got a second, and then the third. So we were never in any danger of losing the tie, obviously, but we did get a bit of a beating on the night. It was very much a rotated side. We did keep Demjanic and Williams in at the back just to make sure we were kind of solid. There's a couple of, Skoko played. It wasn't a completely rotated side, but yeah, you can see on the XG tracker here, we should have done better, but we didn't, and that's fine. Next up, it was, of course, what this did mean is that we had a stronger team rested to play in the league against Rijeka. Big game for us this one, probably our first real major test, certainly on last year's standings. So let's go see how we did. We went to their place. It was away from home. We fell behind early in the second half, and then conceded a second late on. So I think 2-0 was a little bit harsh on us. Philip and Akbasli didn't play well up front. We just didn't play well as a general rule. So I wonder if in hindsight, this is the defense I should have played in the European games. We could have played our strongest defense for this one. I probably am guilty of being caught a little bit between two sides and not committing fully to a rotation. But yeah, we just didn't quite take our chances. You can see on the match stats, we had more possession, but they did more with it. So it's difficult to argue too much that we deserved anything other than defeat. So for the league table, Dinamo did drop points, but it's still a 6-point gap to them. And yeah, we're outside the European even places just now. But we'll get better as the season goes on and players learn to speak the language and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's definitely not the sort of start that we were looking for. And it was a fairly soft start on paper too, wasn't it? So let's hope we kick on. But let's go and face Domzale now. We are at home for the first leg. We're expecting a 4-2-3-1 out of them. And this is the team we're sending out. I just need to check match loads here. So we've got to make 1 or 2 changes. 1 second. All right, now Ayasa has he got a bit of food poisoning, so he is it says he's injured. He's not really. He should be fine. So Triantis will come in with Yago and Williams to be the back four. Dekic and Bracalo will go down the wings. Rovers will not be the deep-lying playmaker. That should be Sithole here, so I've clicked the wrong thing there. So Sithole will sit in the hole. I love that joke. I love it. It's going to be Palumbo and Skoko in midfield with Philip and Visinton being the two to hopefully get the goals for us. We've now registered Akbasli in the European squad as well. So, yeah, he is just a little bit inconsistent right now, but new signing, foreign country, maybe that's to be expected. All right, so we can see the team sheets there. It is a full bench. I don't think I recognize any names there. This name, is that... I think I'm confusing it with the guy that's at Everton, but I don't think that's him. I mean, when home form's important to us, let's go with that. We're not really in that bad of a form. We rotated badly against AIK, so we got beaten there. And then, yeah, Rijeka obviously wasn't great, but again, it wasn't particularly our best team either. So I just think, as I said last game, I think we're gonna take a little bit of pain in the league this season. It's not that I'm not still looking to strengthen, but we saw, Lovric did really well when he came off the bench against, who was that? That was against AIK or Slaven, I can't remember now, Slaven I think it was. So they're the sort of guys that we want to give game time to. Now, Gary Turpic is injured right now. He's been injured since pre-season. He is back shortly as well, so that'll help a little bit with hopefully anyway, with the striking. And yeah, It's just really, really tough to know. It's the problem with young players, isn't it? You don't know exactly what you're going to get out of them. Same with Akbasli. he could be brilliant. Equally, if he has a season of struggle just settling in, then then maybe not. Now, he was unhappy that he wasn't registered in the European squad. I could only register one before the AIK tie, which was Visinton. So I've registered him now, obviously. So I'm wondering if a little bit of his poor performance against Rijeka was down to that, just being unhappy, which is possible. So we'll see how he reacts now. But anytime I sign a player that's, a complete foreign player, as Visinton can't quite get his head on the ball cleanly, I always want to give them at least a season. And he's 19 as well, like his current ability says he's 2-star or something. So he is going to be, Triantis has not done brilliantly there. But we get back okay, and Iyasa has made the save. Iyasa's another one. He is a decent goalkeeper, but he is going to take time to learn the language and whatnot. So, yeah, I just think we need to be a little bit patient this season and sort of, we want to trap them inside, and just kind of expect that we are going to have some blips along the way. I think the main thing right now is getting into this. What's he done? Tight groin for Visinton. That is not ideal. All right, so we'll bring on Matanovic. That hopefully won't be too much of a drop-off for us. We know Matanovic is brilliant, particularly in Europe. And hopefully that Visinton injury isn't too serious. Now, our next game in the league is actually against Dinamo, which is shaping up to be a very big one. Dekic to Fillet. I'm not sure if Fillet's onside. It was close. It looks like it's been given. And we do indeed have a 1-0 lead, which is very, very nice indeed. So sit hold to Fillet to Dekic, and then back we go. And, he's well on, I think. Yeah, he's well on. And that is that. So the plan is a little bit, I kind of feel like we should be able to beat this team. If we've learned anything from facing Latvian and Swedish opposition at this level, it's that we're better than them in these qualifying rounds. So I am taking a little bit of a risk in holding some players back, like Pembele, like Rovis, those sorts of guys for the league. Now, I tried to put out a bit of a stronger team. Matanovic, it's headed away. It's there for Bracalo. Can he pull it back? Will he go himself? Bracalo goes himself. And it is 2-0. And it is only the 36th minute. So this is good. If we can start to get on top of them. And then again, we can start to rest some players as well. Now, one minor thing that's happened in between the two games here is involving Elias Fillet. He was either a star player or an important player. I can't remember which one. He came to me complaining about game time, and I said it'd be better if you could accept being a squad player, and he agreed to that, which is absolutely huge. I mean, to be fair to him, he does make a fair bit of money off his fillet burgers, so he doesn't probably want to leave. But, that's good that he is... I mean, to be honest, it's not that he's a squad player. He's a regular starter, but... that's off. That's off. Surely that's off, ref. It was an unnecessary hack from behind, and now we really do have the chance to put this tie to bed. Against the 10 men. Now, they've only really lost an attacking player there, so defensively, it may not change too much, but it just means we can move them around. We don't want to let our performance levels drop here. And, if we can get a third and fourth goal going to their place, we should be looking fairly comfortable, you would have thought and hoped. Now, do we want to make any changes? There's got to be a question mark over Visinton now, doesn't there, for the Dinamo game? I wonder if Akbasli for Fillet might be a sensible move, given that... A, we're against 10 men here, and B, we could probably do with Fillet, if Visinton isn't going to be available for Dinamo, we could probably do with Fillet being available, couldn't we? So let's see what we get out of Akbasli now. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you think of the signings. I'm quite happy with it. I don't expect Akbasli to be a major player for us. I think he's a little bit different. There's a good ball for Palumbo to pick it up. And that is a third. And that is the sort of lead we want to be taking across the border to Slovenia with us, isn't it? 3-0 is very, very nice indeed. We'll keep attacking them because they are probably vulnerable here. But yeah, Matanovic, was this an actual pass or was it... maybe it was just tackled away. Either way, it opened up for Palumbo. and he didn't need a second invitation. So wonderful stuff. Now, who else would we want to save for Dinamo here? Palumbo and Skoko are probably two of them, aren't they? Although Hakovenga could play. I wonder if Skoko is actually the one that we would want to save here, and we'll bring Allmarkage on. Because Bosniak can play in place of Sithole, so that's fine. Do we want Williams? Well, we've made our subs now. Williams is maybe the other one. Matanovic, it's off the crossbar, was it? And still in the penalty area, but it's cleared away now. Can we go and win it back? Not as of there. Yeah, I mean, now that we have that second, my brain froze then. Now that there's that second spot in the league for Champions League, albeit through qualifying, as Dekic. Oh, it's an own goal, I think, isn't it? It's an unlucky own goal. I think the goalkeeper got a touch to it, and that may have deflected it onto the defender that was back there. We'll get a better look at it here now. Is this guy here that got the own goal? No, it's just the goalkeeper's actually missed it, and it's gone straight onto his chest. And, yeah, Dekic deserves a little bit of credit for that, but I'm assuming the defender was thinking the goalkeeper was going to be able to grab that and didn't. I mean, as a defender, you should always be assuming the ball's going to come to you, shouldn't you? But that's obviously easier said than done at times. We've missed the chance to bring on a youngster for development time. So we'll leave it. Palumbo is looking a little tired. What I should have done is brought on this guy who is a little bit of potential about him. And we've been giving him a little bit of game time. And he's starting to look okay. We did get a bid from, I think it was Gorica. Of course, his transfer value is 0. That bid 0 for him, which is always... Oh, you're just not gonna do that. What I love though is when they'll do that, they'll bid 0, and I'll say it's particularly Italian clubs that seem to do it. But I'll sort of agree to it and say, yes, you could, 0, but I want 50% of a sell-on fee, and they don't want to do that. It's like they just want to take a player for nothing with potential. So, yeah, that always makes me laugh. Anyway, Vicentin is not serious. We got him off quick enough, so to speak. So he may even be available for the Dinamo game. Now, bit of a question on what we do here, because it's not the end of the tie. So what we might do is... early in the season, we'll leave the Dinamo game for now. We'll come back and we'll have the first leg of hopefully, anyway, hopefully we're not coming back at half time in the second leg, but we'll come back for the first leg of the next round, and then Hajduk Split, who are currently second. That could be the one, because if Dinamo's on form, we're just not going to beat them, because they are a bigger, better squad than us. We need to come second for that Champions League qualifying place, and Hajduk is going to be our main opposition for that, I think. So we'll come back for that and the next round of this one, and hopefully it'll be a winnable tie. Don't want to get Lazio. How are they qualifying for this? Lyon as well. There's some decent teams in here. Jesus. All right. I'm going to get panicked here, so I'll see you next time, guys. Take care.